So I'm going to be doing a reading for you all tonight. We'll start with a quick cleansing prayer and then we will hop right into the messages. Thank you. Thank you so much, Most High God. Thank you, Divine Mother and Father. Thank you for our angels, ancestors, and our spirit guides. Thank you so much for the one who is watching. Thank you for allowing me to be a conduit of the message. Thank you for the time that we have to share the message. Thank you for love, kindness, and sincerity. Thank you for decreasing me and increasing you, and allow the viewer to hear exactly what you're sending them in your name. We thank you so much. So it is. Ashe. Ashe. I was hearing the biggest energy was time. And then I started hearing the Eagles. Look at us, baby, up all night, tearing our love apart. Live through this in the dawn. It was a huge chunk. A little bit of dissatisfaction. A little bit of dissatisfaction going on in the heart space. And you know, one of the hardest things about having disappointment in the heart space is that it's literally part of your resonant truth when there is disappointment. And then because we have so many rules to spirituality now, it begins to feel like, oh my gosh, if I show this, if I feel this. And it's just, it's unreal. It's unnatural. And I'm hearing the angels say, I'm hearing one of the messages that have been coming in from the divine energy heavily has been no more spiritual theater. No more spiritual theater. No more spiritual theater. And this is coming in with even how we speak to ourselves, right? Because with the 9 of Cups coming in as well, it's making me think a lot about how we see ourselves. You know, is it that we're waiting on a dream to come true, or waiting on our wishes to be granted? Or is it that we're waiting to align with our higher self and messages that are coming from our higher selves and energies that are telling us to be more grateful, right? And then when that energy comes in, like this is coming back to this 4 of Cups. When that energy comes in of being grateful, it also asks us to cross-examine, like, is it truly grateful? Like, this is a message of the truth of the heart space, what's really going on in the heart space, and being okay with what's in the heart space. Because look, cup again, this is another cup. This is the 3 of Cups. I'm hearing that everybody wants to be the black sheep of the family when it's like for an aesthetic. But when you are the black sheep of the family for real, we're talking about lonely nights, lonely days, lonely. Even when you're in the group, it still feels lonely. You might be the weirdo or the outcast. It's something that is so different about your perspective and your point of view that it often makes you feel like this connectivity, it just doesn't hit the way you think it should. And the angels are telling you to be patient, but while you are waiting, make sure to be love towards you. You know, because I feel like there might even be a lot of energies around you right now that are trying to make you think that you are not as worthy as you actually are, that you're not as beautiful and as magical and wonderful as you actually are. And because of all the cup cards that have come out, and we have the 5 of Pentacles here, this could be your first dark night of the soul. Or it could be another one, and you're just like, what in the world? How is this another dark night of the soul? And I'm hearing your angels say that this time your light is going to come on quicker, the night won't last as long, and that there is a breakthrough that is coming in your spiritual life that is going to present itself. It's going to show itself across every area of your life. This is a call to you and your soul, asking you to take divine leadership for your healing. The healing of your mind, your body, your spirit, your no. Your no is broken. And your angels want you to get comfortable with being able to say no when you mean it. Okay, really abandoning the aspect of you that needs to please other people. Because sometimes when we get into that people-pleasing energy, we can forget to set healthy boundaries. And sometimes we can go so far deep into spiritual narcissism, so to speak, where we think that because we are so spiritual and so loving, that we can't cut people off, that we can't tell people no, that we can't leave places, situations, circumstances, that we can't express the way we feel if it's not happy. Okay? If you are constantly bubbling around like a happy person, but you are not a happy person, or you're not feeling happy, then that, in my opinion, is more damaging to your aura, especially if it is so far removed from how you're truly feeling. You know, as a chosen being with this Seven of Cups, because the Seven of Cups always means chosen to me, because it's your choice to vibrate higher. It's your choice to self-illuminate through those circumstances that just seem so dark, so lonely, so dim. It's your choice. You know, and every time things get really hard and every time things get really dark, you always manage to get yourself back to this mind state of faith, to this vibration of love instead of fear. So your angels want you to remember that this was a choice, that you made the choice to be of a higher vibration than others. And, you know, I have been going back and forth in my mind about something else during my meditations too. It's the energy of better. The energy of better. And, you know, because we have been trained, and we've been trained to think that nobody is better than anybody else. Or, you know, when it comes to money, like people say like, oh, you know, nobody's better than the other, you know, based on a monetary system. But, you know, when we start looking at things in more of a meritocracy in terms of spirituality and what people actually sacrifice. I'm talking about the soldiers out there who sacrifice cussing somebody out. You may have been, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna do it. Right? You are making a conscious choice to be the best version of yourself. But this energy is so convoluted with a higher level of teaching that you really need to listen in when I'm telling you this. Because if you don't understand it with your heart, you might take it out there and do the wrong thing with it. Not everybody deserves for you to hold your tongue. Not everybody. Let's get some clarity on that, God. Not everybody deserves for you to hold your tongue. You're not supposed to carry the karmic debt of someone else. Sometimes you can say what you need to say. The power of God is pulsing through you. Love is pulsing through you. As long as it's not mean and said in anger, it's said with tact and class and grace and love. Yes, look, throat chakra and the 11, the justice. This is justice, divine justice. Your truth is divine justice. And we've gotten that message a couple of times on this channel. Look, seek the truth. Your truth is worth speaking. Your truth is worth being heard. And I know that it's going to be some feathers ruffled. Okay, people are not going to like that sweet little old you has an opinion, and that sweet little you who hasn't been saying anything is now saying something. This is your spiritual awakening. This is your spiritual graduation. You are going to a higher level. There are things that you're going to say. There are situations that you're going to find yourself in that have been divinely orchestrated for you to be the mouthpiece of God. Wow. So let's get you a final message, because look, I understand that when things get dark and when they get alone, when you start to feel like that lonely feeling, it's not like you're just with yourself, which is like one of the greatest things to do. But sometimes it goes from being with yourself to being lonely. And this is a moment where God is saying this loneliness has purpose, and it has the most purpose than you've ever recognized in your spiritual journey so far, because this moment is designed for you to believe in you and for you to illuminate faster, self-illuminate faster, for you to designate words, designate thoughts to trigger you back to the light. Okay, just like triggers, good triggers work the same as bad triggers. You have to have your anchor words. You have to have your own trigger words. You have to be aware of those words, those thoughts, those ideas that are going to lift you back up, that are going to raise you up, that are going to bring you back to the light, that are going to illuminate. Okay. And as this happens, as you find that this happens, I know that Spirit is going to have these moments where you are put in these compromising situations. You might be questioning why things are happening the way that they're happening. But God is saying it is all for purpose. I have your back. I have your best interest at heart. And all this was to make sure that you're a strong swimmer with all these cup cards. A strong swimmer. And that is because of the emotions that you have been presented with. Oh, yes. Okay. So we've got endings and beginnings with Kali. The old must be released so that the new can enter. There is something that is going away. There is something that is having to leave. And I feel like it is that spiritual theater, you know, this thing that everybody is just doing. It's just so strange, isn't it? It's just so strange how a lot of people are putting on this big performance, but the love, the heart, the care for you, you know, sometimes it can be lacking. And sometimes we put on that same spiritual theater for ourselves, you know, really ignoring the deepest parts of ourselves that need to be seen. But we have Sekhmet here with you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Lions are also significant because every time I see this card, I always think about lions, and this is persistence. Okay, so as you are battling this darkness, battling how to maneuver your way back to the light as quickly as possible, as you are going through that type of class, that type of spirit school, God is saying to remember how honorable you are in spirit. Remember to call on your powers that help you, divine energies that help you. Remember that the words that you're speaking mean so much. Remember that your words are divine. Your words cast spells. Your words call things into being, okay? Even if it's a slow stride, just be mindful. Be mindful of what you're saying and what you're feeling. And if you don't like what you're feeling, be real about it so that you can move yourself back to what you do like. Because those bad feelings that you're having, they're always attached to a negative thought. Okay, and once you can pin that point down, you can maneuver it better. You can overcome it easier. You can forget about it faster, or you can understand what thought you can trade that one for, So you can get yourself back to your higher vibration, your happiness, your love, your light, your willingness to just enjoy life and be a conduit as well. All right, so I hope this message has been of some assistance for you. Transformation. And we will talk again soon. Bye.